Can my Note 10 Plus compete with an entry-level DSLR? Well, let's find out. Hey, what is up guys, Aaron here. And real quick before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much for the support. It's been about 4 weeks since I uploaded my first video, and the amount of support and feedback provided by you guys have been super inspiring, so I just want to say thank you, everyone. Now the reason for this video is because before I started my channel, I was going back and forth on what device I should use to create content. Should I use my phone or should I use my camera? And in most cases, a dedicated camera should outperform a phone. But cameras are not cheap, and sometimes the lens alone will cost more than the camera itself. So here I have my Note 10 Plus and an entry-level DSLR, and although they're two different devices, I thought it'd be interesting to compare the two since they're both around the same budget. So today we're going to be looking at a couple of videos and photos, but before we do that, I briefly want to go over the specs just so we know what we're comparing here. And the Canon SL2 is an entry-level DSLR and was released back in 2017. And for about $700, you're able to get both the body and the kit lens. Now fast forward to 2021, I've been seeing prices ranging anywhere between $350 to $450, so about $400 currently. And as for the Note 10 Plus, this guy was released in 2019 and it had a starting price of $1,100. And now as of making this video, I've been seeing prices under $400, which is kind of insane. So I'd say as of now they are pretty evenly priced. The Canon SL2 is a 24 megapixel camera, and I'll be using the standard 18 to 55mm kit lens that it comes with. And the Note 10 Plus actually comes with 3 cameras, but the main camera is a 12 megapixel camera, and that's the one that I'll be using today. Also, the Note 10 Plus can shoot up to 4K at 60 frames, while the Canon can only do 1080p at 60 frames. And just to let you guys know, I shot in various modes with the phone and the camera, so you guys can kind of see the performance of each device and see how close they can mimic each other. Now the first photo was taken in regular mode and fully auto for the Canon. And you can already see how that the Note 10 Plus produces much more vibrant colors compared to the Canon. And the sky looks more saturated, and even the mountains in the back look much sharper. However, as soon as we zoom in, we can see that the Note 10 Plus starts to suffer due to the small sensor size. But overall, it's still a pretty impressive photo. And here's another photo, but this time the Canon was shot in manual, and it's the same story here. The Note 10 Plus looks a bit more saturated than the Canon, and as soon as we zoom in, the Note 10 Plus starts to look a little fuzzy while the Canon is actually the opposite. But at a glance, they both produce great images. Now here's a couple more comparisons, and you'll start to notice the pattern that we had with the previous photos. Now I'm going to show you guys a couple photos taken indoor and outdoor, and see if you guys can take a couple seconds to guess which camera was used for each photo. And here the right photo was taken with the phone, and I started to notice images from the Canon in auto mode tends to look a bit warmer than the Note 10 Plus. Now let's try to guess this one. And this time the right photo was taken with the Canon. And you can see already that the Canon looks a bit softer compared to the Note 10 Plus. Also, the Note 10 has the more vibrant images. And before we get into some video comparisons, I want to show you guys the phone's portrait mode. And portrait mode is where your subject is focused and the background is blurred, also known as bokeh. Now here's 2 images that were both taken on the Note 10 Plus, one in portrait mode and one in the regular photo mode. And as you can see in the background, the blur or bokeh definitely works in portrait mode. Now here's the same photo taken in portrait mode compared to the Canon DSLR. And you can kind of see a noticeable difference here. The Canon looks much more blurred compared to the Note 10 Plus. But I still like how the Note 10 Plus is not overly done. Alright, well now it's time to get into some videos, and unfortunately, the camera can only do 1080p and the phone can do 4K, so I thought it'd be fair to compare the two both in 1080p, just so you can get the true performance of each camera. But I do have some 4K footage for you guys, and the results might surprise you. Now in this video comparison, both were shot in 1080p at 24 FPS. And it kinda sucks that the wind just stopped blowing while the Note 10 was recording, but I got some better footage for you guys after. But you can already see the ripples in the water, and not so much with the Canon. And it just looks like the Note 10 Plus shoots much sharper and vibrant videos, just like it did with the photos. And it's not necessarily a good or bad thing, a lot of it comes to preference and whether you want to edit in post or not. Now here's a video that I shot in 4K with the Note 10 Plus. And I'll be honest, right when I uploaded these shots to my PC, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The quality that this small device can produce in 4K is amazing. I mean, look at the plane flying by. Look at all the details of the whole scene and just how smooth everything moves. I mean, the fact that a small device like the Note 10 Plus with a small sensor can pull this off is actually quite amazing. Oh, and also if you guys want to learn more about the phone, I did a long-term review of the Note 10 Plus, so if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave a link down below. Now here's some indoor shots of me testing the autofocus for each device. Both were taken in 1080p at 24 frames, and again, I was surprised that the video from my phone looked fantastic, even at 1080p. And also the autofocus on the phone is pretty much instant and just blows the Canon's dual pixel autofocus out the water. And while I was editing these videos in post, I realized that they both look great and I wouldn't mind using either one of them. So overall, it's hard to justify a winner here because one's a phone and the other is a camera. And if I had $400 to spend and I had to pick between the phone or an entry-level DSLR, I'd probably go with the phone just because the comfort of everyday use and the versatility. And you also have to factor in that interchangeable lenses for any DSLR or any mirrorless camera can get very expensive, so just keep that in mind. I think they're both great options and it just depends on what you're looking for. So if you already have a phone and you're looking for a decent DSLR, an entry-level DSLR, the Canon SL2 I think is a great option. But if you already have a good camera and you just need a phone with a decent camera, then the Note 10 Plus is a fantastic option as well. So yeah. So if you guys enjoyed this content, feel free to sub down below. I'll also appreciate any type of comments or feedback that you guys may have. Anyways, thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!